Good evening, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon for the rest of the people from the rest of the world. So, right now you're watching a black screen. I figured out how I can block the content from you guys. So, today actually, this will be the last of the Star Wars series because I haven't found any further cinematic from Star Wars that is worth reviewing or critiquing. So let's jump right into it. I will disappear off screen, and then once I mute my mic, you will see the visuals come online.
You have served your purpose well, my apprentice. But I have no further use for you. Kill him.
What happened? Where is he?
Betrayed by Vader for the last time. A new journey begins with something worth fighting for. Someone worth dying for. And I will not stop. I will not rest. Vader can't stop me now. Vader can't stop me now. Nothing can.
Okay, so so let's skip the title. So the opening, we understand that the execution is about to take place. Darth Vader is getting rid of this secret apprentice.
You have served your purpose well.
From what I understand, this is supposed to take place between episodes 3 and 4. I can be completely wrong, but that's my understanding from one of the how this game was created interview kind of video, that I understand this is supposed to take place with around the movie episodes 3 and 4.
My apprentice.
So we see that as Vader is saying that he's going to get rid of this guy, Starkiller, the camera angle is from low to high, and traditionally such camera angle is used to portray superiority to the one in focus, which right now we see that Vader has the superiority over Starkiller.
But I have no further use for you.
And then when the focus comes to Starkiller, we have the camera angle high to low, which signals the opposite, inferiority. So personally, to me, I don't really feel the difference between low to high, high to low. It's just a tradition or an effect that seemingly applies to most people. That's why it is very much employed whenever you have like a king addressing the masses, the commoners. You have the camera angle usually from low to high. So you can imagine, let's say you picture there is a balcony, the king is here with his queens and concubines and whatever aides, and then you have the commoners here. Normally the camera angle is going to be in such a way where it's a little bit tilted upward, so there is still the low to high angle. Very rarely are you going to see a king in focus, especially in comparison to his folks, where the camera angle is from high to low. Very little. It is rare, I would say. So this is the fixation, contemplation. Starkiller is contemplating what he just heard, and people tend to look towards an object to hold their attention for thoughts. You can say almost like an attachment, like he is internalizing the betrayal here, looking at Darth Vader, thinking about what he just said, thinking about what's going to happen. So that's why Starkiller is keeping his gaze upon Vader for as long as possible until the door closes, and then that's when we see Starkiller actually look down. Yeah, starts looking down, and then he holds on to the grab. He grabs onto the chains. This is like a bracing action for what is to come. And it also blends into his next move, which we can see the scowling of the face, the facial expression is a hint of something to come. So we see him go from a rather blank and neutral, I won't say neutral, is blank expression. Then he relaxes his nose. I'm a little bit bad with the naming of anatomy on the face. Probably a little bit of a despair over here. And over here is pissed.
What happened?
Character disappears.
Where is he?
We don't see what hit the stormtrooper, but we know it's something very destructive. No idea where the lightsabers came from, really. They certainly did a bad job disarming Starkiller here. Like, hey, this is your execution cell. Let's leave your weapon right there. Okay, this slow-mo is definitely intended. Because from the previous scene, your eyes are likely to be held in the center. As you see the stormtrooper shooting a blaster. Where is your eyes gonna be? Your eye is probably gonna be around here. That's where your vision is gonna be. But when Starkiller appears, okay, so let's draw. Your eye vision is probably around here, but Starkiller appears here out of darkness. So if let's say this were to appear in real time, like Starkiller's killing spree here is gonna happen in real time, you won't have a lot of time to actually move your eyes to Starkiller before he completes his kill and disappears in the background again. So let's just go back and take a look at that. Yeah, and actually I don't really like the appearing and disappearing sequence here. It just feels too cheap. Like, where can he disappear to? Like, is it really that dark? That, you know, your stormtrooper, you've got the helmet. I'm sure there's some light amplification modules in there. I don't know. Yeah, so imagine this move appearing in real time, and then it's gonna cut to this scene. You're probably not able to really catch where Starkiller came from. He came right in the middle of them. Yep, so the slow-mo is intended, for sure. That is the only point where we see Starkiller really use a lot of force in terms of strength, impact force, not Star Wars the Force. I just think that perhaps this pulling out of the lightsaber, we can afford to see a few more frames of it, maybe 5 frames more before it cuts over here, because I really would love to see Starkiller pull the lightsaber out more and then come to this pose. So this is the time, I guess the only time where I wouldn't mind a cut that features a reverse going back in time a little. Yeah, I mean, come on, let us see the extraction pulling out the lightsaber a little bit more. And then he can come into his cool stance here. It's a nice looking stance, and it also guides your eyes to see where the stormtroopers are. Like behind him, the lightsaber is pointing to the one that just died, and then the one that is facing forward is illuminating the next target. And this is also when we see Starkiller show the confidence, or maybe even in this case the cockiness, the smugness of a one-on-one engagement with the stormtrooper in front of him. One of my absolute favorites move in the Star Wars series, which is the deflecting of blaster shots via predicting the blaster fire. And you will see, let's see that again. You will see that he moved to deflect the blaster fire before the blaster fires. So it is not the other way around. This shows that Starkiller, the people who use the Force, knew exactly where the shot will land, and it wasn't a reactionary kind of move like, oh shit, fire coming, then I'm deflect. Just watch the timing of when his hand moved up and the blaster firing. Yeah, If you cannot catch it, I'm gonna go frame by frame for you. Okay, that's when the fire comes. So Starkiller is walking forward. And you see he's about to move his lightsaber already. Yeah. Move. Then the blaster fire. Boom. Deflects. But it's strange that we see two blaster fire there, right? I didn't catch it until I go frame by frame here. Whoops. So here he's walking. And then he's moving his lightsaber forward already. And then boom. A blast of shots. Let's see the double fire here again. Oh, it's supposed to be two shots. Wow, that's even better. So that's the reason why he does the sweep, the curved blocking, to block the first shot and then the second shot. Woo! Okay, only caught it right here. And this cinematic is actually really nice to watch with high volume, like audio volume. Like because I tend to listen to stuff at really low volumes, and it's only for the purposes of this critic that I actually bump my volume up to 80. Otherwise you see me hovering around 20 at times, usually 20, sometimes 30, but 80, wow, the bass, nice. So this is a very nice telling without showing. We don't directly see Starkiller cut the Stormtrooper, but we see the effects instead. So there is some showing of what is being done, but yet it is not as well. So the gap is being filled by the effects of the lightsaber cutting through the door. And it's nice that when Starkiller stabs in the Stormtrooper, the burn is growing around the impact point. So right now, just you can see that the size is about here, like this, but you will see it grow larger. Yeah, now it's huge. And also, apart from visual cues, you can hear audio as well. Let me just change it. So listen out for the footstep of the Stormtrooper as it's getting stabbed by Starkiller here. You hear, like, when Starkiller stabs through, the Stormtrooper actually is stepping on the floor a little bit. I think 3 steps if I'm not wrong. Yeah, then a collapse. So let's just hear it again. Yeah, and you can hear the Stormtroopers gasp as well from the pain. You guys can play this at your own time. Let's change. Okay, let's move on.
Betrayed by Vader for the last time.
He said enough. He's pissed.
Begins with something worth fighting for.
Something worth fighting for? Is someone worth dying for? So this is all about purpose.
Someone worth dying for.
Without purpose, life is meaningless, really. So he is thinking of searching for the purpose now. That's quite an expected move, really. But the thing is, when I first saw this, I completely missed how Starkiller blew this robot up the first time I saw it. So for some reason, I was just looking at the wrong thing. Even though there was the slow-mo right in front of my eyes, slow-mo, I still missed how Starkiller blew the robot up. So we can see that how he blew the robot up is exposed gas fuel canister tank, and then with the force he did a force lightning onto the exposed part and chain reaction explode. Boom. One thing that the Star Wars series does very well is the transition between fast slow motion. So they use slow motion to just help you to grab your attention, to guide your eyes to where the action is supposed to be, and then when they think it's enough, boom, back to real time, and actually sometimes even quicker than real time, to do a very quick slide to the next scene, which creates impact, raises impact, and I think it is a very good effect, put to very good use, done artistically, because like for a period of time, like maybe 10 years ago, was it that long? Yep, thereabouts. You see every single movie, every television show, when there's action, there'll be slow-mo for no reason. There is just slow-mo for the sake of slow-mo, and after a long while it just gets boring. But Star Wars here, they did it very tastefully. They don't do slow-mo for the sake of slow-mo. There is one, I think, in the Hope cinematic, but all of it is done to grab attention, create impact. Grab attention, create impact, which is what we see here. So even when it slides through, yep, that slow motion here with the flamethrower is to help us to understand what the hell did Starkiller do to get behind the robot. Imagine this in real time. It's just gonna go over there in half a second and you'll miss it completely. Okay, slow motion, and then real time, slow motion again. So let's just catch that. So slow-mo, real time, slow-mo, real time, slow-mo, and then real time. You see, even though it's so jarring, this slow, fast, but you don't feel lost. In fact, you feel engaged. So this is the trick of slow motion. It has to be used appropriately, so it doesn't throw the viewer off, nor does it bore the viewer.
Will not stop, but I will not rest. Vader can't stop me now.
Yeah, charge forward. This fight scene in general is epic, but there is one point of critic here of this entire sequence of carnage. This is the only one point where I will point fault. About here, I think I'll need to raise the volume, but not too much. Wait, I should raise the other way around. So let's say 50 here, and then I'm going to put the 0 on my broadcasting software. Hopefully you can hear this, yeah. So we see Starkiller use the force against this dude. He's gonna crush it. You hear in the background there's blaster fire, but you don't see the blaster fire, right? So from him raising this robot guy, crushing with a force grip, and then smashing him against that wall, you hear blaster fire all the way through, but you don't see any blaster fire. Are the stormtroopers that bad of an aim that they cannot hit a stationary target at all? Huh? Really? Their aim is that bad? Darth Vader, you gotta train up your stormtroopers better, man. Okay, let's go back a little. I think lightsabers are the only weapons, the only time where it will allow you to be surrounded, 1 versus 100 and logically win. So I have no issues with this happening in the Star Wars franchise, because really the lightsabers, you can just cut through anything. Numbers don't matter to you anymore. If this was some other movies or scenarios, this would have been a huge cliche. Like the hero never gets hit, even though there's 100 machine guns against him in front of him. Boom! This shockwave of force. Oh, why did it go backwards? Oh, it's my computer. So here, what is really nicely done here is we see two we see one attack but two forces at work. So one, we see the very obvious shockwave, the physical shockwave. No, over here we see the burning first. Like boom, the stormtroopers that are close to him gets incinerated. And the rest are outside of the ground zero. We see them being thrown back by the shockwave, the force. So here, so we see the inner circle, stormtroopers incinerated. The outer circle, stormtroopers are thrown backwards by the physical force. So I think this is a very good mix of variety within one move to just make something different. I mean, imagine everyone just gets thrown back and die, or if let's say everyone gets burned and die. It's acceptable, it works, but man, this two effect in one move shown here, good stuff. Adds diversity, variety, and yeah, it's just different. And we see the remnants of the dust fall. I like how the speed here amplifies the intensity. So the moment the thing glows yellow, green to yellow, the beams fire and Starkiller had to just like block it in time. He didn't have time to really react properly. This was kind of like just in time blocking. Yeah, and it's struggling a little. And now it's like, screw you, man, I'm cool. A cool face while parrying and attacking, he's got this. So push back. Cuts the leg. And how the lightsaber got back to him is just like the Star Wars kind of thing. Using the Force to retrieve weapon that is lost. I'm not sure how he's able to stay on the map like that with the sort of movement going on. I think he's learned some Naruto skills here. Why is he only using the Force to crush this guy now? Not too sure. Maybe the mech was too big to do it earlier? Or is this more like a suave move for him? I would like to think it's the former, but I think it's more the latter. This is just like a cool move for him. And just look, like, how did he initiate the Force grip? Oh, not here. So he drops from chopping the mech up, and then he slowly turns around. This is rather slow turning, and then when the mech is about to make contact with him, that's when he sticks his hand out to initiate the Force grip, the Force crush. For the
Vader can't stop me now.
for the longest of time, till now I'm still trying to come to grips. Like, is there teleportation here? So for this we have to teleportation in terms of rotation. So I thought it seems like there is, and also there seems like there's not. Like from here to here, is there a 180-degree turn for Starkiller? I don't know, man. So let's say if we go back to the critical time where he first stepped through into this arena, the door he came out of is lit, is quite brightly lit. And then let's say we come to where this dude first appeared. Is it somewhere here? Okay, you see Starkiller's door is still quite bright. And then the one he's supposed to head to here is dark. Yeah, the one behind him is lit. So after he finished all this carnage, he squeezed and then he cut the guy in half. So at this moment in time, to me, I'm supposing that the lit door is here. The one he originally was heading toward is here. But then you see there is this flip. Now the lighted one is behind him.
Vader can't stop me now.
So when he does this, he is supposedly heading towards the dark door,
No.
which is quite dark here. I think here one thing we can use to figure out our direction. Actually, I don't think there is teleportation. It's just that from the battle, it just so happens that wait, there is teleportation, right? I was going to say that we can use the bodies of the stormtrooper for our reference, because when he blasted, what did I press? Because when he blasted these guys, okay, it's pretty much all over. There are more bodies towards where he came from. There's less from where he's heading to. Okay, yep, so now at this gigantic robot here, we don't really see a lot of stormtrooper bodies. We see one on the ground here. There's more from where he came from. Yeah. So okay, now we see quite a bit more. So there's one behind the robot, two in front, and one here. These in yellow, they are pretty much away from the Starkiller and this gigantic robot here. So we have about 4 bodies that is in closer proximity to this battle. Or one thing we can do is to analyze the rotation later when this happens. Okay, so the orientation here is still correct. Starkiller is running towards the door he's supposed to exit. Yeah, so the door he's supposed to be heading to is on our left. Behind us. The door he came out from is in front of us. Now the door is still, he's supposed to head to is still behind us. Okay, Starkiller is being turned back to us. Let's assume this is from the previous cut here. So he is about facing where he's supposed to head to. Now here he should be about 180 degree turned already. So now he's facing where he came up from, turning back to where he's supposed to go to. And from this angle, I believe that the door he's supposed to be heading to is on our left. Yeah, because at this angle, you don't see doors along the wall in the background. So the door has to be on either side of us, left or right. So from this angle, we see Starkiller is facing this direction. He is facing this direction here. So meaning the door is on somewhere here. Oh, there's a cut. Is there? No, not really. So the camera is turning. That's when he jumps off. Cuts that leg. So now the door is actually on this side already. I'm just like spending way too much time analyzing this nonsense that I don't actually need to. And then he turns. So the force grip. I think there's a switch over here. So the door is now here. And no, wait. The door is originally supposed to be here and here. I think going by the orientation of this structure here. But somehow I think it switched from to here and here. I may be completely wrong because it's very hard to track the rotation. Yeah, it is really difficult. So now we see bodies, right? So we see two bodies in close proximity. Remember how we showed that where the robot was facing earlier, there were two bodies in front of it. So in front of this map would mean the door that he exited from is in this direction, and he's supposed to head in this direction. Ooh, I think it lines up. Yeah, I think I'm wrong. There is no teleportation. Yeah, I think it lines up. Okay. Wow, nice.
Can't stop me now.
So yeah, this is where I'm wrong. There is no teleportation, but I think in the middle of it there might have been some. Not 100% sure.
Nothing can.
So if you don't know what these are clones of Starkiller. So nothing can stop him now. Yeah, but except for yourself perhaps. But the thing is, these guys in the tubes, in the incubation Hydro Chamber, I don't think they can stand up to Starkiller at all because they are grown, yes, but they have yet to receive training from Darth Vader. So yeah, this is pretty much the end of the critique. I don't have anything more to say. This is definitely one of the enjoyable cinematic as well. One of the good ones. We have the Knights of the Eternal Twins, Knights of the Fallen Empire, the Eternal Twins that we saw 2 weeks ago. We've got this one. We've got the first one, which is, I forgot, what is it called? Is it Return? I think Return. Yeah, these 3 of the Star Wars series are the cinematics that I enjoy. This one is just epic for the action. The Eternal Twin is epic for the development of the characters, and the first one is just epic for the introduction to the Star Wars series. So there is no comments or anything coming in, so I will see you guys next week. As I said, this is the last of the Star Wars animation. Then we will return to Overwatch 2, and from there I may actually critique one guy's animation demo reel, or I may just end there already. And then I'm just gonna make Monday stream, gaming stream, to just like do something that I like. Getting a little sick maybe of doing critique of animation, and I'm also running out of animation content to critique. I did explore League of Legends, but I don't really like the animation there to even critique. It's done in a way that I think is there's no point in critiquing. I think I will need to watch a few more again to really see my comments and judgment again. But till then, next week will be Overwatch 2, and I'll see you guys next time. So, Vampyreq out.